pizza dude's got 30 seconds. You're 2 minutes late, dude.
I gotta get a new route.
Okay, Dad, now delivery pizza's easy, it's fast, but it's also expensive. There's a better way. We can do this as dads together and make our own pizza dough and have pizza or calzones that look like these. You can win the day for your kids, for your wife, and save a little bit of money in the process by making your own pizza dough. That's what this video is all about, and we're gonna jump into it right here and now.
Yes, friends, the new Turbo Ginsu. Woohoo! It dices, it slices, and yet makes French fries in 3 different. Whoop!
Don't tell me you don't love that movie if you're from my generation. Okay, so we are going to start by making our own dough. We start with the Quip Rapid Rise yeast, and I'm going to put a copy of the recipe in the description below so you can get more information on that. Suffice it to say, I'm making a double, triple, probably quadruple batch here so you can see how I make this. But if you're going to make this, I recommend definitely doing it in bulk so that you can freeze them, defrost them whenever you need them, and this will last you for months depending on how much you make pizza. We make it at least once a week and we need 2 each time. So we're starting off with that Rapid Rise yeast. Putting it in there, you have to add sugar in order to get that yeast to activate. So it's pretty simple. You've got the yeast, you've got the sugar, and then you've got hot water that you add in there. Give it a quick stir so that it will start to activate. Kind of let it sit and start to bubble up on you. Now I've got my kids with me today. They're giving me a hand. They're learning how to make this. We've made this a lot before, but as you can see, they have a lot of fun and they are trying to narrate here on the camera too. I absolutely love these times with my 2 boys. I've got my girl who loves getting a part of this too, and she likes to get really messy with all of that flour. But they'll be here helping me out throughout this video, so I hope that doesn't bug you. But hey, it's a dad's channel, so that's what we do, right? So we're adding salt. I add a little bit of salt into the bowl itself with the water. This is coarse salt, so I want it to dissolve a little bit so the flavor will pass through. And then I add a little bit more into the flour itself. Get that dumped in. I'm just using the dough hook, and I will slowly but surely get that stirring up so it doesn't plow the entire kitchen.
On level 1. If you have levels.
Adding some olive oil into this. That is your secret ingredient. In this case, I think it's about a half cup of olive oil for all of that flour.
That is cool.
Once we get that poured in, then it's just a matter of stirring up and kneading that dough until it's nice and soft and a good consistency.
Going all the way in.
This takes about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depending on what type of dough you have and how it's looking. But you'll kind of see the consistency that we're looking at here. And again, we just let this go and go for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm setting my oven to 200 degrees to get it heated up to a good temperature so it can proof faster once we get to that point.
That was really fun.
You're gonna have a big lump of dough right here. It should be nice and warm, not too sticky. If it doesn't stick to your fingers, it's pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna take these 2 bowls, pull it out, and then we're gonna split this in half. Try to make sure it's as equal weight as you can, and then we'll place them into those bowls as soon as the boys help me get that off of there.
That's heavy.
Have the boys help me weigh them out. See if we can decide which is our equal weight. I think that'll be good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss them in a little bit of that olive oil so they don't stick to the saran wrap that we're going to put on top. So you want to just kind of roll it around like this so the olive oil is all around so it doesn't stick to the bowl or to that saran wrap. Do the same with the other one. And then once you get these in place, Bromley's going to grab some of that saran wrap for me, and we're going to place that on top and set it aside. Thank you, Bromley. Get those wrapped nice and tight. You want the dough to not dry out too much, and you want to give a lot of space for the dough to rise and do its thing. Okay, so we're going to do it all over again. This one, don't worry, it'll be much faster. We're going to make a total of 3 rounds. I used a big, massive Costco flour for this one, and we made about 15 separate pieces of dough, including the one that we cooked for that evening. So we got that sugar going in. Counts helped me with this time. And rinse and repeat, literally speaking. You know, one of the things, especially when cooking with kids, that can be a challenge is the kids oftentimes are very slow, can be very annoying, and they cause all kinds of challenges when you feel like, gosh, I should just really do this on my own. Let's do it after the kids are asleep. What can I do to make my life a little bit easier? And it's easy to forget that these are the moments that we dads have the opportunity to really impart some great wisdom on our kids as they're growing up. Not to mention giving them the opportunity to know how to cook, know how to bake, know how to take care of their future wives. This is something that is invaluable to me, and oftentimes when I get stressed out, I like to take the time and take a deep breath in, out, and realize that they just want to be a part of what we are doing. If you're interested in some more of that, I do a lot of talk and a lot of information about how to be better and perform better in the moment. I've got a good link for that in the description. So everything's proofing in the oven, and what I'm doing here is just kind of get myself set up. So as you can see, I got these gallon Ziploc bags. These new ones are pretty cool. They actually are perforated, so they sit flat just like they are right here. That way, when I'm ready to put these doughs into the bags, it'll be a little bit faster and easier. You can see they've doubled in size easily, and this is the most fun part. Once you pull that off, get a little punch, and then they kind of deflate. And they are the coolest texture and incredibly ready to eat and roll out. But in this case, I'm going to now break them in half one more time and toss them there into each bag. And this takes a little bit of time, but again, it's worth it. If you've got a Saturday afternoon, you want to spend some time with the kids and make these up, it'll save you a ton of time for months ahead in the future, depending on how often you use these. If you're interested, I've got videos on this channel talking about how to make a calzone from these, as well as how to make a pizza and different toppings and things that we use. Our kids absolutely love this. We kind of go back and forth between this and calzones. So roll all the air out of these, get them nice and tight. And once I have all of these set and ready to go, I'm going to take them down to our chest freezer in the basement, and we are set. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have a good day, come on back. Thanks.